Right, 28 June 2025, and today I'm happy to be giving you my weekend update on a Saturday, and this is on one of the most important days. We're seeing the beginning of the disintegration of the Mnangagwa presidency. So Mnangagwa's top team is fighting, and I've said to you in the past that Mnangagwa and Chiwenga are fighting like a cat and a dog. So Mnangagwa and Chiwenga will never be able to work together again. The two have reached a point of no return, with Mnangagwa getting ready to fire Chiwenga. He's been waiting for a long time, and he now believes that Chiwenga has been weakened. And according to my sources, they plan to move on Chiwenga within the next 2 weeks. So already we've gone through some of the days, and today is the 28th. Mnangagwa is going to make a reshuffle very, very soon, and it will be sudden. You're going to see a sudden reshuffle against Chiwenga. So they're going to move against Chiwenga because they're tired of him in government. So they no longer want Chiwenga inside the Mnangagwa government. In fact, this move was supposed to have been done sometime last month when Chiwenga came back from meeting the Pope. This is the day they were supposed to fire Chiwenga. But Mnangagwa is not sure what is going to happen, or was not sure what was going to happen. Now, Mnangagwa is confident that if he moves against Chiwenga, Zimbabweans will do nothing, the army will do nothing, and it will just end like that. He's also confident that Geza won't do anything. In fact, according to my sources, the bank accounts of Geza have been frozen, and Mnangagwa is very confident that he is in control of where Geza is. So my sources tell me that Mnangagwa actually knows the exact location where Geza is right now. So what Mnangagwa has done is to put Chiwenga in a position where he has to appeal to the public for support. So what you're seeing right now is Chiwenga creating his legacy. When he leaves government, he's got a legacy of someone who fights corruption. So if you ask people in Zimbabwe, who is the biggest corruption fighter in Zimbabwe right now, Chiwenga's name is going to come up. However, that's not enough. What is needed is muscle. So what is needed is the ability to fight Mnangagwa. But at the moment, that ability is not there. The military has been badly compromised by Tagwirei. Tagwirei is the one that has compromised the Zimbabwe military. And what is left right now is to just wait, to count down the days. And I believe that when Mnangagwa finally moves against Chiwenga, nothing's going to happen. People are not going to do anything. Zimbabweans, as I know them, they like drama. So if a person that is fighting against the Mnangagwa government is harmed, is arrested, is taken, you will see a whole bunch of Zimbabweans standing there and said, why did he do that? Didn't he know what was going to happen? This is exactly what is going to happen. And Mnangagwa now knows that if he moves against anybody, Zimbabweans will laugh. So Zimbabweans are going to come up with all sorts of stories against Chiwenga when he's finally dismissed. You're going to see it. Zimbabweans are going to be the ones standing on top of the mountain saying, but Chiwenga, why didn't he do it earlier? And so forth. Zimbabweans will never do what is happening in Togo right now. So there is massive fighting in different countries. In Kenya, in Togo, people are protesting. They close roads. Young rappers stand up and fight. So if you go to Togo right now, there is a massive protest taking place after the president of Togo has pushed through a constitutional amendment to go for a third term until not even a third term, to go until 2033. And this guy has been in office since 2005. And young people in Togo have been protesting. If you go to Kenya, young people have been protesting. our young people in Zimbabwe, they don't protest. Most of them, they actually like being members of ZANU, and given a chance, they would want to be corrupt themselves. So that is the problem in Zimbabwe. And Chiwenga is dealing with this system, not a system of the government, but a system of our young people that see corruption as normal. So they see corruption as normal, and they see stealing as normal. They are proud when they see a thief addressing them. They jump up and they celebrate. That is why Chiwenga is in a very difficult position, where in his last days in office, he's going to find out that a lot of the people around him, they can easily turn around against you. So many, many people are going to turn against Chiwenga in his last days. And as I said to you, my sources have already told me that this is a done deal. Mnangagwa has finalized the plans. It's just a matter of days. And guys in the military are not going to do anything. The youngsters in the military want Chiwenga, but the senior guys have already sold out. So most of the people at the top have sold out to Mnangagwa. They would rather stay in office, drive a GD6, have free beef, and so forth. That's what they want. They don't care about youngsters getting $1,500 a month. They don't care about a country doing well. They just want a GD6 in a farm, which they can't even farm. It's crazy. Right, now let's go to what Chiwenga has said. So Chiwenga has been speaking quite a bit for a while against corruption. Particularly, Chiwenga started to speak up against corruption when he coined the term Chigananda. So Chiwenga is the one who coined the term Chigananda and the dangerous repercussions of corruption in our country. So that was Chiwenga who said it. And over the past months, Chiwenga has been telling ZANU-PF people, especially Harare province, to stop ED 2030. They were doing ED 2030, they were chanting the slogan. He told them to stop it. They stopped for a day or two. And then immediately they started again. So Chiwenga, when he's there, when he's standing right there in a room, they listen to him. But someone goes around the back, and Mnangagwa is very good at this. He goes around behind Chiwenga's back, and after he makes a statement, Mnangagwa says, guys, don't listen to that one. So after a few days, you are going to see that they start chanting ED 2030 again. The biggest sign of defiance has been from Tagwirei. Tagwirei has said it's actually Chiwenga who is corrupt. So let me show you Tagwirei speaking last week, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Now, the people that speak about corruption are the most corrupt. If I was to stand here and the guy eats Moses, and I start to talk about his corrupt activities, if I was to speak about all these people, Zaka is the one of the most corrupt people I know is Sebi. So
how can Tendai be the most corrupt person? What can Tendai steal? Surely that can be said. Tendai is corrupt. There's no way. You can see that he's not talking about Tendai when he says the people that talk about corruption are actually the people that are corrupt themselves. Now, remember, Tagwirei is not in public service. Tagwirei is in private. He's a private sector player. So what Chiwenga is talking about when he talks about corruption is people that are in government that are working with people like Tagwirei to destroy the government. The government of Zimbabwe, all the systems have collapsed. Nothing works in the Zimbabwe government. I told you right now that if you go to the Zimbabwe government offices, you are going to see the women inside government selling sweets, fat cooks, inside the offices. If you are trying to be saved by someone in the government of Zimbabwe, and a customer comes with 5 rand or 5 cents, they will tell you to wait, and then they will serve their customer fat cooks and sweets inside the office. Someone has got a farm in the Zimbabwe government. They will leave in the morning and go to their farm with a government car, and they won't come back for the whole day. And they'll tell their secretary, tell people, I'm not here. So let's hear what Chiwenga said about such things.
Those of us entrusted with public office to the highest standards of ethics, integrity, and accountability. The civil service must stand as a bastion of incorruptibility and moral clarity. Only then can we safeguard the public trust and ensure that the machinery of government serves the people, not personal interest.
Okay, what did I just say about personal interest? This is only a bit, people didn't hear the most what Chiwenga said. Chiwenga spoke about Zimbabwe is the only country we've got. Zimbabwe is, and then he went back to history about the liberation struggle. Remember what this is all about. It's a book launch about the liberation struggle. Rukoho's book is about the liberation struggle of Zimbabwe and all the things that people fought for. And Mnangagwa, they don't care about the liberation struggle. Tagwirei does not care about the liberation struggle. The only people right now left in Zimbabwe who care about the liberation struggle are a few war veterans that got nothing. The rest of the people don't even care what happens as long as they get their own money, including the ordinary youngsters in Zimbabwe. You have seen what has happened in the past few days after the arrests that have taken place in Zimbabwe. Young people have been bought, like Mnangagwa has gone out and paid young people. And this includes people you don't even believe in. I showed you the young rappers in Zimbabwe. So let me show you a rapper from Zimbabwe, what they're doing. So this is Konangale, right? Do you see our rappers? In Uganda, we've got Bobby Wine. And right now in Togo, we've got a rapper who's been in jail for the past 30 days. He's called Aamron. This guy was arrested for protesting the extension of the term of President Faure Gnassingbe here. And young people responded by protesting against the government because this family has been ruling for more than 38 years. So 38 plus, it's almost 50 years. One family ruling Togo. Our youngsters in Zimbabwe, they don't have that belief. They don't believe in these values. So that is why you see that Chiwenga was speaking here. The book is called An Itinerant Social Scientist by Mdara Andres Rukoho over there. They will never invite Mnangagwa to such things because Mnangagwa is very corrupt. Mnangagwa loves money. But do you know that Mnangagwa doesn't actually have money? Mnangagwa is very wasteful. When he steals the money, he does nothing with it. He just wastes the money on the Rolex and Bentley and useless trinkets. When Mnangagwa is out of office, you have no money because he's not stealing to do anything. He's stealing to do nothing. People like Wino. Do you know that Wino doesn't have a house? Like Wino Chifaya doesn't have a house of his own. You see him in Harare dishing out cars and all that. This man has got no home. It's as if Akaromba, like maybe Aranzi should never buy a house. But he's of no fixed abode. Do you know that no ZANU PF official has ever built a hotel in Harare? Like they can steal millions and millions. They'll build a mansion like Philip Chiwenga's house. It's huge. You could build a 5-star hotel with the money that you use there. They will never do it. Do you know that Tagwirei, right now, the way he is right now, he's got no landmark in Harare. He's never built anything that you can say, here is the thing that Tagwirei built. They still, but they don't have any plan. It's like when a kid jumps into the bedroom and finds some sweets and starts to open them and eat them, and eat half and throw away the other half. Or a dog goes into the kitchen and finds some chicks and eats them. One and just bites, and like I've seen lions doing that. They bite something, they drop it, they bite another goat, they bite. So one time I saw a lion biting 20 goats and not eating any of them. That is the situation with ZANU under Mnangagwa. They've got no ideology, and they steal for no reason. And someone like Chiwenga right now is being kicked out of the party. Chiwenga cannot survive in that political party. You're going to see it. A person that survives in that party is a person like Muhadi. Muhadi, he just follows everything. You've never seen a day when Muhadi opposed anything. That person will survive in the party. If you speak in ZANU-PF, you're gone. And Chiwenga has reached that point where he's spoken or he has talked too much, and they're going to throw him out. The question is, who in the military is left? How many people do we have left in the military? Can they go up against these guys? Because that is where we are now. Mnangagwa has a private army now. And Chiwenga is able to outsmart the private army. Because that is where we are. These guys waited, and Geza and the rest of the guys were having a very big upper hand just a few months back. However, they've lost it because Mnangagwa now has a private army. He's going to use this private army against Zimbabweans and against people within ZANU-PF. You are going to see it. No one likes Mnangagwa. Internationally, Mnangagwa has lost credibility. He's not even trying anymore. He's fed up also of trying. So Mnangagwa is just sitting back and stealing. That's all he does now. He just wake up and steal, and Chiwenga will soon find out what is going to happen. I believe that Chiwenga is also aware of the plan. The plan is simple. He's already been removed from most functions. So they no longer use Chiwenga to introduce Mnangagwa. They've basically just stripped him of all the official duties. They're just letting him wander around in the offices. And his people, one day he's going to wake up and he's got no bodyguards. That's what they do. Mem Juru just explained what happened. She woke up one day and she opened the window and found no guards. That must have been so funny because these guys can't survive without bodyguards. Like, if you take a bodyguard away from someone from ZANU, that is the worst thing you'd have ever done to them. The fear among the ZANU-PF top echelon is staggeringly shocking. Like, look at Chamisa. Yesterday, Chamisa was in Zaka. Did you see any bodyguards there? Like, literally no one with a gun. That is Chamisa, is walking around freely. The ZANU-PF guys are among themselves, are fighting each other. The moment they get a chance, they'll kill each other. So they all survive on security. So all of them are surrounded by huge numbers of security. So imagine when they took away Mem Juru's bodyguards, how she felt. Because obviously at that time, she didn't even know probably how to do anything. Especially the guys who came out of the War of Liberation. They don't even know how to drive. Some of them didn't even know how to write. So, for example, if you take people like Anama Mjuru, my understanding is that she couldn't even drive. So, go into all these people that we have. We are being led by people that came out of the bush 40 years ago. They are still the same. And to make matters worse, people like Mnangagwa did not deserve to be in those positions. A bodyguard cannot be president. So you don't expect Mnangagwa to be Mugabe's bodyguard and then become a president. He knows one thing, to enforce. That is what he's doing. He knows one thing, to enforce, and Mnangagwa is enforcing right now. He's enforcing including enforcing among his team. So that is why you see Chiwenga right now creating a legacy for himself as someone who is a fighter against corruption. But very soon you're going to see it. The movement is going to take place. And there are people willing tools like Tagwirei who want to steal as much as possible. Tagwirei will steal at any opportunity that he gets. And you will see that eventually this man, Tagwirei, might rise that presidency position because he's grouping young thieves like Tatina Mavetera. She's a thief also. She steals goats, chickens, and you've got other people around Mnangagwa that also steal. So that is what we call a kleptocracy. Mnangagwa's government is a kleptocracy. They steal. And the only purpose why they exist is to steal. Corruption is nothing. Corruption is little. These guys, they wake up, every cent in the government is going into their pockets. And they've stopped caring. What do you think about them? Okay, I think we've covered everything. Let's quickly look at other stories that are happening in and around us. Right, Chamisa, doing very well. He was in Zaka. As soon as I get the speech, I'll give it to you guys. And then the DRC and Rwanda have signed a deal. So President Trump has just met with the ministers of foreign affairs of the DRC and Rwanda. And what a foreign affairs minister, she said a lot. And I don't think you can fault what he said. You can go and check out the speech with Rubio over there. And also, you must understand that the deal means that Rwanda won't leave the DRC. So Rwanda is going to stay inside the DRC. So they're not moving out. And then, obviously, we have other stories taking place in South Africa. The GNU is about to collapse. If the GNU collapses, there might have to be a fresh election in South Africa. So it's a flash election. It could be Yamakanga flash election. Tadagdozia flash election. Right. Tabangu Yamakanga. So, yeah, that is what happened. Yeah. So that is what happened. There's going to be flash elections in South Africa if the GNU collapses, or EFF will have to combine with NC. The whole thing is a mess. Then let's go to the newspapers. I hope that the guys in the Herald published. And did you to Kavanu Nas? And did you to Kavanu Akomana? Yes, 28 June 2025. That is the Herald newspaper. It's published. I love the guys there. Kutambanga mana ndikutuki. Jenfan Zingavandu kana vakarika publisher in time. What I like about Jenfan is that he is present most of the time. Empower people with disabilities. So President Mnangagwa yesterday calls for a fundamental shift in the treatment of people with disabilities. Start by giving my jury something like a prize or something. Present your win for vendors. And then Japan reaffirms support for Zimbabwe's demanding effort. Then you can see over here is Chiwenga and Dr. Andres Rukobo. I said Rukobo, it's Rukobo over here. And then the Vice President's Office Center, official from the Vice President's Office Center, looks at the book's launch at Heritage Village. Mnanan's official, Arazita. Those Waitika, Chandra government. And then a hub for innovation and industrialization, University of Technology Innovation Hub. These guys are doing very, very well. I went to the Innovation Hub of NAST. What a disappointment. I went there in 2006. and try to do a deal with those guys. I also went to the one at MSU. I went to the one at Africa University. What a disappointment. Chinoi is doing very, very well. Similar to Harare Institute of Technology, they're doing very well. And my PhD, when I was still studying it, was in commercialization. So I know a lot about this commercialization. We need to do a lot. And then there is a new hotel called Hyatt Regents Hotel over here. So go check out the Herald newspaper. Lots of good stories in here. Then let's go to the Chronicle Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe Chronicle. And let's see what is over here. Same stuff. I think we've got the Indians in Zimbabwe. Right. India Minister of State of External Affairs, Mr. Kitty Vardhan Singh, Panacho Buddha. Nothing ever comes from India. Hakuna ma investments. India is like kutora vanhu vekubhikita kuti vanoinvesta kuHarare. Panacho Buddha. There's nothing in India, guys. India has got no money to invest. It's like Dubai. If the guys from Dubai come to your country and say they're investing, just say, don't waste our time. Nothing is ever going to come out of India. I can assure you. The only thing they would do from India is to sell you cell phones, education courses, fine, so. Apanacho Buddha, India. If you want to do work, so let me tell you what to do if you want to do work. Work with the Americans. So the Americans, they are the best for investment. They have got money. If you go to Times Square, which are on New York Stock Exchange, and then you're going to see NASDAQ. I'll share with you pictures when I was over there. There is so much money. If you're standing in New York, every building, you have to look up, and aeroplanes will be just above the buildings. Why? Money is come to America and it's concentrated. If you want $1 billion deal, you get it. The only thing is they want returns. Do you know why we don't get returns in Zimbabwe? Because we don't have system. We've collapsed our systems. South Africa has collapsed their systems. Zimbabwe has collapsed their systems. Unfortunately for Botswana, they were dealing with someone that was collapsing the systems. So remember the previous president of Botswana started to collapse the systems, started to use what we call militarization. There is intelligence there in Botswana. It was starting to go after people under Masisi. So that's how they do it. You go to Mozambique, they start to rig elections. That is how they collapse the system. And then you lose out. In Zimbabwe, it's worse. You have a kleptocracy, which means every system in the country has collapsed. If you go to ZimSec, they are selling these very exam papers, which they are supposed to be providing students with education. If you go to any public institution in Zimbabwe, you have to pay for any service. Every person in the government is stealing, including a police officer, including, you saw what Chiwenga was saying. He summarized everything. There is no person in the Zimbabwe government, including civil servants, who does not believe that stealing is okay. Then in that way, you never make money. Eventually, the whole system is going to collapse. And that is where we are. You need a new leader. But before that happens, you have to take out the whole system. You remember, Kudara, before the rainy season, you burn all the old grass so that a new grass can come out. That is what we call a call to arms. You heard what Chiwenga said. This is a call to arms, but we're not saying take guns. He said it himself. Go watch his speech yesterday. Guys, what I'm telling you here is what is going to happen. We are in a terrible situation. The money in Zimbabwe is ran out. People are not getting paid. Like salaries are not getting paid. Again, People are not getting paid in the mines. People are not being paid. Even in government, they are late. The salaries are late. And the salaries are low. People like Linda Masarira are now selling Matemba. So Linda Masarira akutengesa Matemba. Call me Linda, I'll buy Matemba ako. Right. Then let's go to Chamisa. Chamisa doing very well. I like him. And he's going to do well. Let's see what is posted today. Always go to Chamisa News Channel. Chamisa is the real deal. Chamisa, Chibaba, Chedu. So we're going to support Chamisa in everything that he's doing, because I believe that eventually Chamisa and Chiwenga are going to come together and form some form of opposition. I believe that Chiwenga will be fired within the next 2 weeks, and then you join hands with Chamisa and the war veterans. Because once he gets out of office, you will see that Chiwenga will become extremely strong. He commands respect, and Mnangagwa is no one. Mnangagwa ndimainini, Chiwenga ndi baba mukuru. Baba mukuru, yes. That is what Mnangagwa will be saying. Kuna Chiwenga, if he fires him. The advantage of keeping Chiwenga or the vice presidents is that he then has to tell him what to do. That's why they've been keeping him there for so long. But the point of no return has been reached, where they can no longer work together because of what has happened. There's too much water under the bridge. Okay, what else do we have? Let's look at other newspapers in Zambia. I've been trying to keep it low. I don't want to inflate the situation in Zambia because we want people to negotiate. So now we're avoiding talking too much with Taorisa. So for now, we are relaxing. We are not talking too much about the situation in Zambia. So let's quickly look at the B Metro newspaper. So there's something called the Brothers of Brutality. Zibaba violence. Masoja. Pane masoja airowa mana. Kumusha kwedu. Kune musoja ainzi. Guruba. Guruba stare hondo. Pane noziya guruba. Zvainzi. Zvanzi mukoma guruba vakuuya. Mese. Maitanga kugara zvamushe. Maitanga kugara mushe. Isusu taitanga gara. Let me talk English. When my grandfather, the great Gambakwe, had a homestead down here. So the comrades, they used to live at a mountain opposite our home. And the Pamushapa Mdaramtend was in trouble because Masoja were right on top of his home. So at night, they would just shoot. So bullets would fly past our heads. Like they will shoot for no reason. And then after some time, they would just come to the homes and said, Kune Pungwe, Kune Pungwe. And everyone will have to go to Pungwe. So Guruba, Tachirich Babache violence. Now let's look at Brothers of Brutality get 70 years, robbery and raw violence. These are the Brothers of Violence. You can go and check it out. I don't want to read the rest of the stuff. Men, Mhuka, Beshi's men from there. Akabata ve. Yeah. Tajaira. Tora mari dzivanu mahara. Rita mangu. Regai muro mari dzenyu. But boys, it's never gene. Didn't they want to form a band? Okay, so go check out Metro newspaper. Let's see this girl. What's her name? Diva. After controversial video. So Black Diva, controversy sells. After posting a video on social media with connotations that somehow underlooked her peers in the music industry, Black Diva is seeing her sentiments creating more enemies for her in the sector. Okay, our Black Diva is looking good. Zaka Naka, Zaka Daro. Right. Yeah, I don't want to say a lot. But it's with my baby, to my like my 25, 26. I'm sorrow. The guy didn't kumve. So mve uyo. Special in the UK, 2 for 1. If you buy 2, you get 1. And I would tongue salad, especially that top one on the left for men. 1 liter engine turns into 3 liters. 1 kickstart, and you don't have to crank it. And then, obviously, for girls, lots of benefits. And also, you do very, very well. Kapua pena, mudono. I think we've covered everything. Let's look at the comments. Mgabe looking good. Mkoma 1 and 1. Yes, I'm Mgabe. And the Chiwenga are looking good. Look at that beard. I want to show you Chiwenga's beard. That's the Mgabe beard. And Chiwenga did mention that Mgabe. He talked about Mgabe yesterday. He's looking more and more. You see, when he doesn't have the beard, he's like this. And when he's got the Mgabe beard, he's like that. Sometimes he keeps it for longer. He makes it bigger. And it's big. So look at that. That is the Mgabe beard with the Chiwenga. I don't know who does his haircuts. Look at this one. So that is his haircut. And then this one, Chiwenga, let's see. When he went to meet the Pope, that one. And then, where's the other one? So Chiwenga is very interesting to me. I like his haircut. I like his style. Then obviously, let's look at other comments here. Call to arms. Remember, he was looking for guns after he lost in 2023. I don't know. Call to arms, yes. Banana Republic. General Hana Diri Ngabaye. And following from Zaka, Zambia, thank you very much. So when I went to Zambia, sometimes when I go to Zambia, what I do, I actually use public transport in Zambia. So I got a lift from a guy, a top politician in Zambia. We just met. He also didn't know me. I also didn't know him. So we had a nice conversation with this top politician from Zambia. He's a community leader. And he let's see what his name is. Like, I can't get his name here. Yes, Nevers. I met Nevers. And we had a lot of conversations. And it was a night, totally at night. Zambia is very safe. I've met a lot of people in Zambia when I travel. And it's totally safe. The roads are nice. So if you're traveling from Chirundu, the road is very good, all the way to Lusaka. So you can even drive at night and you won't die. In Zimbabwe, if you drive it after 6, you are dead. Don't make a mistake of driving after 6, you die. And then let's see what else. I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching. I think what I'll do now is let me take a break and I'll come back a little bit later. I'm not sure what is going on today. I don't think there's much taking place, but there is a lot happening on my side. So on my side, there's a lot taking place. We are obviously looking at how we can change our business, especially with the Gambakwe work. There's been a massive response. So the number of people that has responded is too much. The question I have is, do you guys have the 20,000? Because I can't work with you if you don't have $20,000. I don't have the capacity to work with people. Vanema 2,000, 5,000. Because last time we worked with someone who came with the 4,000. The trouble that they gave us, they disrupted our whole project, which we had started, which was worth millions, just because of 2,000 that they brought into our project. I'm very reluctant to work with a lot of people. So the people I'm working with right now are not more than 5. So 5 people only. That's the number of people we're working with on Gambakwe work. And then the rest of the guys will put you later on. But for now, we're going to start with about 5 guys. So get ready, and I'll be sending out the document. I've got a 40-page document that I've prepared. So we're going to look at that document, and then we're going to talk to the embassies, companies, and other investment bodies within the coming next few weeks. I then want to address 1 or 2 issues. So Myself, if you see me being attacked online by someone, that person is working for ZANU. I'm the nicest guy. So if you see someone, I tell you, hey, Gambakwe this, Gambakwe that person is Mnangagwa. So unoda here kukundwa kufunga na Mnangagwa. So don't follow Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa aka broker. Auxilia aka broker. Sean aka broker. Emerson Jr. aka broker. Kuda aka broker. Pasi ne dynasty. Atidi dynasty in Zimbabwe. I will fight them like a cat fights a dog, or like a dog fights a cat. We don't want Zaka Pusa, Udaro, and we don't want Auxilia. Personally, Auxilia. So I think we've covered everything, and I'll see you guys a little bit later. So yesterday I promised kuti ndokuimbirai Gambakwe jazz bands. I did paper. The interview kunonzwira sei kuplay a video because ndakuimbirai ndega kuti muone kuti ndakupractice. Amandikudze isimoko moto vanoiziva vanokwenyana homoto unopisa. Guys, Gambakwe jazz band inonakidza. Ndotaka here ka band kangu. Amandikudze isimoko moto vanoiziva vanokwenyana homoto unopisa. Tapongo dzanyika yose asati vatigucha. Smoko moto homoto unopisa. Hanzi vakomana vesimoko munouya rini. Tigotamba zvegorerese tichifida baby. Hanzi azvida irombe iwe ndinoda kuona. Ane muno yechiboy anodyiwa singatauri usandirambidze. Munhu anopinga takatarisa sekuseka. Samangu.
Zviri kumedza go ifanika anakonda taona pazobuda nana tironi komanda. cheza ne kusajja